everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
That even if I had none of these 6 degrees that I have, none, 4 that are academic and 2 that are honorary doctor degrees, I would still think and be shaped the way that I am. I would still change lives the way that I do. I would still feel the same way about broken homes and broken families. I would still stand on a mountaintop and advocate for the Black community. I would still be president of the biggest civil rights organization, NAACP, for Los Angeles, San Pedro, Wilmington, and Palos Verdes for 12 years. I will still have my own street, the NAACP Square, President Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, Founder Joe Gatlin, in my city, Los Angeles, as a result of the work I've done in the community and the lives I have changed. They didn't give me that because I had a title. They didn't give me that because I have all this educational accolades. They gave me that because I'm impactful, I'm influential, I'm changing lives, and I'm able to lead without force. This is why I don't have the need to be liked, because leadership isn't I'm manipulating you to like me so I can lead you. That's manipulation. That's narcissism. Leadership is I'm going to show you my results. And if you feel like my results are something that's conducive to where you want to be, you are more than welcome to join.
All right. This your girl, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. She's been all over the news lately because she's saying she's not she's saying she's a doctor. She has 3 doctorates, but social media is saying that she won't present them. And people all over have a problem with this. And me personally, I don't really care, but we're going to touch on it. So let's check it out.
And I'm ready to go toe to toe in the comments with somebody if they got something to say about what I said, because I said what I said. See? But you know, and I see celebrities. And I double down on it. I see celebrities and even public figures as yourself who have to deal with people having so much access to you because of social media, but also sort of dogpiling on. Yep. And, I wanted to be sure again that this conversation was not that, and that we really focused on the conversation that matters. Yeah. And, even so, people are like, is she a doctor or is she not a doctor? Does she have the credentials or is it da-da-da-da? And I did wonder how you have ever felt outside of today, this week, how you have ever felt when you have put in the work to get the academics, get the grades, get the degrees, have the lived experience, have the work professional experience, and then to have people try to discredit that or discredit you 100%. Just as a Black woman. What is that internal emotional process?
We gonna be real about what you're talking about. Not just as a Black woman, but as a Black woman who has stood on a mountaintop for our Black community, who the Black women audience has made me their spokesperson. I never made myself that. They loved when I was ripping the Black dudes apart in their perspective. They loved when I was checking them and making sure that I was standing on a mountaintop speaking for all of us. But the moment they get to come out the bush they were already hiding in and go, oh, loophole to tear sis down. Now, let me disclaimer, not all, because there's a small group of Black women I'm talking about, and that's that group who is now portraying as, we hate her, we dislike her.
But that group will always speak the loudest. Like, the negative is always shouted way louder than the positive. Like, all the positive work that she's done, no matter how long she's been doing it, man, I didn't mess up no matter how long she's been doing it, all the positive stuff that she's been doing has been overshadowed by just this negative attention.
She's doing something negative. The bigger group of Black people and women are flooding my DMs, are flooding my timeline, are saying, Doc, we love you, gas it, foot, Dr. Bryant. So, but to that group that you're referring to, it's not just me being a Black woman, but it's also me being a Black woman experiencing it from my own Black women and Black community. That is where it's like, oh, hold on. I got to make sure that I remember my obedience is to God, not to y'all. Because if I make my obedience to you, then I will personalize the fact that you are attempting to crucify me like the church did Jesus when Jesus just served the church. And I have to make sure that I remember that there are a bigger group of women and men, Black and non-Black, mostly Black, a love my Black folks who support me, who love me, who I do this for, that I cannot allow that noise to even slightly insert and take away from what these folks over here deserve, which is my village, my doc squad, and so forth. And even the folks, again, these wolves over here in their sheep clothing, because they was in the bushes waiting. Don't nobody come out like this unless you was in the bushes waiting, right?
It seems like
but
it.
That's okay,
it seems like it.
If any noise brings them to my page, my website, to anything that makes them curious, that allows them to grab something that helps them, then guess what? I did my job. My job is not to appease, is not to create any narrative that would help their narrative negate. No, I want them to create all the narratives they want. I want them to double down, do it some more, and keep it going. Because I have never experienced this much free marketing in my life.
Hey, I agree. Because I haven't covered Dr. Cheyenne Bryant maybe once before, but this has been rumbling for quite some time about her degrees and what her, if she's licensed and those things. But I'm not a journalist, so I don't really want to do research and really go and see if she has these degrees, because it really doesn't matter. Hey, people can start a podcast. All they have to do is have a mic and a camera, and they can get out here and tell all the jargon and that they want to. I mean, we see it all the time. Andrew Tate is giving man advice, and he's not a doctor. Okay. One of my greatest philosophers is Dante Nero. He's actually a comedian, or he's a comedian, but he was once a stripper, and he talks about getting your balls back and being a man amongst men, and just basically not letting not matching energy of women is basically what he talks about, and don't stuff like that. So he's not a doctor. He's just a modern day philosopher, a podcaster, somebody with a mic and a camera, and they can get on here and talk about whatever it is. So whether or not she has the credentials, she has a powerful voice, and she's able to use it. And I appreciate her saying that, these people that come after you, they be just sitting around in the bushes, because it's always somebody that got something to say about me, but it be just one person out of the 150,000 subscribers that I got, that one person that comes on here feels that they have the need to attack me over titles that I put on these videos, which whatever, if it's the title that really got under your skin, then maybe it wasn't the title. Maybe you just didn't like me, and that's okay. I'm not asking for everybody to like me, but the people who do like me and do like what I say, that's who I'm talking to. That's all. Like, I come here for the people who do like me, for the people who do respect me, and that's why I continue to do it. And that is all she's doing. And so that's why I never came down to punch down on her, because I really don't care. Like, she was never talking. I was not her audience. So anytime she says something, whether it was about her relationship with a woman or with God, or if she was giving somebody else life counseling, and then she went and did something that wasn't what she would teach somebody else, that's okay. That's okay, because preachers go preach every day, but then they go do some filth behind closed doors. So listen. Y'all didn't want to hear that, though. It's people that just people can tell you a lot of good stuff in life. The best advice you can get from a crackhead is don't do crack. But you be like, oh, you a hypocrite. Why would he be a hypocrite if he's telling you don't do crack? Look at him. You know what I'm saying? But see, y'all too busy worried about how somebody is perceived and not focusing on the information that's given. I could give you. I've been a cheater for a long time in my life. I'm not a cheater now, but if I was, I mean, no, if I was giving advice on cheating, I could tell you what not to do because I've been caught so many times. That's why I don't cheat, because I feel better not cheating than I do when I was cheating. And it wasn't even that I was cheating. I was just being sneaky by sleeping with multiple women that I wasn't even in relationships with. And I was leading women on, and they would get mad. They'd be like, I thought you wanted to be with me, but then I'm with other women and leading women on. So that's cheating. That's cheating to every woman. And they be like, oh, you just a womanizer. But at the same time, you got to think about it. I could tell you all the information that I know about that and how it make me feel and how I didn't get no sleep. But y'all don't have to take my word for it. Go out and figure it out yourself. And then you be like, damn, maybe if I would have listened to that little bit of information, I'd be all right. But I'm just saying, you don't have to have a doctorate to tell people don't cheat. You just have to know, you just have to have a little bit of experience and a little bit of common sense. You know what I mean? So don't let nobody, don't let no a bunch of, just don't let a few people punch down on you for their negative view on you when you got a lot of people, when you got way more people supporting you. Because you probably got way more people supporting you than you got people hating on you. You just hear the hate louder than you hear the support. But if you quit listening to the hate, you'll hear the support a whole lot more.
I ran into 6 degrees, 3 doctorates, a master's degree, a house at 19, my first home, a daycare at 19, 3 retail stores on Merrill's.
Well, damn, you was a professional student.
It's very simple. I went to a school, Argosy University, completed an entire program. I went back online to get my official transcripts because I was applying to a law school many years ago to be a professor there. And I had to provide my transcripts, right, to get hired. And I went to contact the school and say, hey, I need my official transcripts. I need my entire thing. And there was no school. I was like, okay, I'm confused. I Google. It says this school has been shut down. I said, oh, well, they got to have records. I mean, they were accredited when I attended the school. They were accredited when I finished the program. I go and look, there is a third party that has the records. Where I contact the third party, that third party only holds records for 2 years.
Parchment now holds all of the documentation from every student that attended that university. So she has access to her transcripts indefinitely. Also, you can request a second printing of your degree. Therefore, if she for some reason did not obtain the mailed degree that included one official copy of her transcripts, she could reach out to Parchment and obtain both as needed.
I was past my 2 years. So that means that I had no access to records. And then I contacted, financial aid. You can't make up financial aid. It shows that I paid for a doctoral program alongside my master's program and my undergrad program. And they said, we can fully refund you your money under one circumstance. We give you your money back. You don't get credit for not a class, a course, a program you took in this university.
And I've gotten this question from many viewers, and I owe it to them.
You
in
do.
Service to
Absolutely.
them. Why not drop doctor from your name if you cannot bring forth that doctoral degree?
So I've already covered this, right? And we're here obviously to talk about my new book. So I've earned the title. I have multiple degrees, and I'm not going to prove anything to anybody. And we're going to leave it just as that.
As someone that holds the degree from the university that Miss Bryant reports herself to have, I have several questions and several points of clarification that will be made. The first is that the degree that she is speaking to is a Doctor of Education in Counseling Psychology from Argosy University. Argosy University was an accredited university through SACS. SACS is the Southern Association for Colleges and Schools, and with that accreditation, they had the rights and privileges to confer the degrees that they offered, including at the doctoral level. With that accreditation, with that degree, the specific degree, you had to have completed a dissertation. I know because I did it for that degree. There are things that you should know off the top of your head, like what the title of your dissertation is. Mine is the Alabama Cashapp and non-Cashapp Counselor Education Graduate Students Readiness to Counsel Substance Use Disorder Clients. What is yours? What gap in the literature were you trying to fill with your research? What was your interest? What were you studying? How many participants did you have? What platforms did you use? What was your coefficient alpha? How did you justify the number of participants? How long was it? All of those things should be readily accessible in your brain to some extent when inquired about it.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest. I have a teacher when I was in college. I was starting off, and she was my English teacher. I hated English in high school, but English in college is very different from English in high school. And she was going for her doctorate, so she was very instrumental in me completing English and like being successful at it, because it was about telling, my stories. And then, she used me and a few others in her studies, based on our backgrounds, right? So that was kind of more of our connection. And so she was doing this dissertation while I was in school. All right, let me tell you. The first year I had her, she was starting it. The next year I had her, she was just in the middle of it. So it was now like a year and a half then passed by, and this lady was still working on this thing. So anybody who has worked on what she's talking about knows, in fact, that these things are not easy to come by. So it's a fact. If you have a doctorate, you worked extremely hard on that thing, and it's well earned. So if you did it in 6 months, good for you. But I know some people that worked very, very hard and long on it. So the stuff that she's saying makes sense. If you really did this, you went into such depths of this project. This is your entire. This is all your credibility as a doctor. This is like a breakthrough. You have to make a breakthrough to become a doctor, not a medical doctor, just a doctorate of whatever it is that you study, and you have to make a breakthrough. That's why you don't see accounting doctorates, because there's no, unless you come up with some scientific method to numbers, then you won't have too many doctors in accounting. You'll have them in like science and literature and psychology and things of that nature, because there's more to study in those fields. So whatever it is you studying, whether it have to do with behavioral health, drugs, kids, adult behavior, animal behavior, just anything, you went in so far depth of that subject, it became your life for the amount of time that you had to study it, and it ain't easy. So if Dr. Cheyenne Bryant actually did it, then for sure, she got a copy of it somewhere. If she ain't just turning her only copy.
Who's your dissertation chair? Mine was Dr. David Arena. I had one reader. You should have access to your dissertation, even if you don't have the full one, which is odd because they send you that too. You should have each chapter broken down because you send it in chapters. So where is it? And the final one, you get a copy of that. It's signed by the dean, your chair, and if you have a reader or any other co-chairs, they also sign it. Everybody has to sign off and approve it. You have to sign off and approve copyright, and if you want it published in ProQuest or EBSCOhost or some other platform, you have to submit. There's documentation processes for all of that. So where is it?
Cheyenne Bryant having or not having a doctorate does nothing to my doctorate, Art. It does nothing to my career. It does nothing to my profession. I don't have a need to investigate her. I don't have a need to slander her, to belittle her, to malign her, to assault her. I don't have no need to do anything against that Black woman because she hasn't hurt anybody. She is a life coach, Art, and you don't have to be certified or have a doctorate or a license to be a life coach. She ain't misdiagnosed nobody. She ain't done no clinical work without a license. I haven't seen any wrongdoing from Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. So what do I think is going on here, Art? I believe that Black women, I'm going to call the kettle black. Some men too, but mostly Black women are attacking her out of jealousy. They are jealous of her looks. They are jealous of her life coaching career. They are jealous of her podcast success. They wish they were in her position. And because they are not, they are trying to destroy that woman.
Yeah, and even in the comments, someone says demanding accountability isn't jealousy. But what gives people the authority to request accountability? Like you're the accountability police, as if, you know, as if what she's doing is a crime. Nothing, mind you, nothing that she has done is a crime. Nothing that she has done is a crime, because the reason why it's not a crime is because she's not out here misdiagnosing people. She's not out here passing medications to people. She's not out here, you know, just she's not doing anything clinically that would that she would have to basically have to go and sign for a license for. You know, if you're a doctor and you practice, you know, if you practice counseling, like in a formal setting that you take insurance and stuff like that, you have to have licensing. She does this on podcasts. She don't do this. She goes and holds conferences. Anybody can go hold a conference. She's not having one-on-one sessions with people that are well, she's having one-on-one sessions. They cost, but anybody can do that. But it's not like she's not diagnosing them with some type of, oh, you can't find love because this is wrong with you. Anybody can get help, but her help costs. And people are saying, well, you're not a doctor because you're not producing these documents. How can we trust you? It's a trust issue with the public. And it's not even the public. It's a few people who are pushing this narrative. Now everybody wants to know. People who do not even want her services. I don't want her services. A lot of these people in the comments, this Moore guy, don't want her services. Seth Rodney, half of what she says is nonsense, and this is so ridiculous. Other Black women who are professionals are attempting to hold Bryant accountable. Don't want her services. What bothers me about Dr. Umar is his blatant misogyny. Black women are not jealous of her. Alex the Great, don't want her services. A lie is a lie, no matter who tells it. Absolutely nothing to do with jealousy. Termuriel Barnett, don't want her services. Like, these people ain't going out there asking for her services. if you're not going out there asking for her services, what is the need for you to actually have proof of her doctorate? You're not holding anyone accountable. The court of public opinion is only that, a public opinion. It's a false equivalency of holding someone accountable.
Period. Point blank in the story. I've told you before, Art, that black men have a problem with each other, right? We got an ego problem. I think black women's problem with each other exceeds black men's problem with each other. What they are doing to Dr. Cheyenne Bryant is absolutely unacceptable, Art. They are destroying this woman more than Donald Trump. They are destroying this woman more than Candace Owens. They're destroying this woman more than Erica Kirk. They're destroying this woman more than the police officers who killed Michael Brown, Trayvon Martin, Breonna Taylor, Sonia Bland, Sonia Mancy, Amir Locke, you name it, Art. The enemies of African people have not received the type of vitriol that Dr. Cheyenne Bryant is receiving. If y'all want to expose it and be done with it. Everybody has heard the story, Art, but guess what? They going around and around and around with this, Art. And the reason I can speak to this so well, what did Roland Martin try to do to me 11 years ago? He tried to say I didn't have my degrees and brought me on his show and tried to get his panel of coons to embarrass me because he thought I didn't have my degrees. Other people have tried to say I didn't have my degrees, Art, and guess what? It got so bad. I had to give my college permission to tell people that I graduated from it. Art, they were getting so many phone calls after that Roland Martin lynching that he tried to have, and instead he got lynched with his panel of coons. They called me up from the registrar's office, Art, and they said, Dr. Umar, these are the good white people from your graduating institution. We are getting bombarded with phone calls as to whether you graduated from here or not and what your degree is. Do you give us permission to let people know you graduated from here and what your degree is? I said yes. And guess what, Art? Even though people could call, the only reason why I'm not saying the college name, Art, because I don't want them to get bombarded tomorrow. You feel me? Even though people could call them and verify my degree, not online, traditional, in person, American Psychological Association accredited doctoral program founded by one of the fathers of white cognitive psychology. I gave them permission to call and verify my credentials. And guess what, Art? You still got Negroes out here today who will tell you I don't have a doctorate. They done found my dissertation online. They done found my transcripts online. They done found my graduation pictures. And my degree will hang up in my Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy office. You feel me, Art? My degree will be hanging up once I got an office to put it in. But the reason I'm bringing this up, Art, was happening to Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. It's not happening because she has a doctorate or don't have a doctorate. It didn't happen to me because I had a doctorate or didn't have a doctorate. It happened to me because I'm the biggest name in the world in Black consciousness.
Hey, now that I'm going to have to agree with. Like, because, I don't know what, well, no, wait. Not the biggest, not that he's the biggest name. If that's what he want to be, that's what he want to be, so be it. That's not my call right there. But what I will say is, because he is who he is, people have been trying to discredit Dr. Umar. They've been trying to discredit his school for so long, regardless of if he puts a window or piece of, if he paints a wall or he puts a handicap parking in front of the school. People have been trying to discredit this man and put him down for years now. He's been raising this money by himself. He's been pushing this. So it's just constant, put downs from black people. I don't see white people talking about him. Why? Because his audience is not white. So it's constantly black men, black women putting down ourselves. And this is the main problem that we have with ourselves, is that we hate to see ourselves doing something good. I don't even know if we hate to see it. It's just like we can't even get behind it. Or we always think somebody's scamming somebody. Oh, that he's scamming us. But you'll look at somebody who's a finance guy and they're telling you, oh, well, you could put your money here and we can make you a millionaire. And what that lady tell you, oh, you eating low vibrational plates. And now look at her, FBI owner. The FBI they didn't froze Dr. Umar's accounts and everything. He still ain't indicted. So yeah, they did their due diligence. They wanted to see where the money's going. The money's there. He not scamming. But black people, we didn't lie. We didn't called in so much on this guy that the FBI had to do an investigation on him. And he ain't out here being investigated. He's not in handcuffs. So I just think that, like, man, it's just like sometimes we hate to see ourselves win. Even the conversation that I showed earlier where the young guy, the Rap-A-Lot guy with the Rolls Royce, how something so small turned into a confrontation, but thankfully it was dialed back and the guy gave him some real game at the end. But it got to a point where, like, we could have started off with that conversation. The conversation could have, everything that we do can start off with a conversation, but instead it starts off with hate. It starts off with rage instead of sometimes people will give some people a chance. Roland Martin gave Dr. Umar a chance, but then he didn't believe a word he said. He still believed that he was scamming. Roland Martin, I don't think he believed most Negroes anyway. Him and Jason Whitlock always confused me about them too. But the thing is, it's always one and the same. We hate each other the same way all the time. We be hating on each other all the time. It don't make no sense. And that he telling the truth. It's just hate. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing. It ain't got nothing to do with the doctorate. It ain't got nothing to do with whether she have it or she don't have it. Whether she produce it or she don't produce it. Because they going to still find a reason to hate her. Like, well, why didn't she just show it in the first place? All she had to do was show it. She made up every excuse to why not she wanted to show it. But did it make you happy? Did it solve your problem? Will you like her now? Will you support her? That's the question. If she does show this, will you support her? Probably not. So it doesn't matter if she shows it or not.
Be weary of anyone who tells you they have a doctorate degree and refuses to show you any receipts for those credentials. Because what do you mean you didn't frame this shit as soon as you got it? What do you mean you didn't frame this as soon as you got it? The amount of trauma that is grad school. Oh my God, grad school has no business being that traumatizing, but unfortunately under white supremacy and capitalism, here we are. Grad school is not a walk in the park. It is not easy. This person claims to have 3 doctorate degrees and not so much as a transcript to show for it. Do you know who else says they have a doctorate? Dr. Seuss, Dr. Doofenshmirtz, Dr. Dre, Dr. Pepper. They all call themselves a doctor. Doesn't mean they're qualified to provide mental health care. Doctorate in counseling. She claims to have a doctorate in counseling psychology. And when people asked her for a transcript, the school shut down. I was in grad school when Argosy shut down. There were people in my cohort who transferred in from Argosy. There were people who taught me, professors who graduated from Argosy. None of them had any issue showing their credentials. They all were able to prove that they were qualified to teach us the things that they were teaching us. The people I know who transferred into my cohort were able to get their degree confirmed, no problem. They were able to get their license, no issue. Argosy shutting down is not an excuse. I am sorry. So many brilliant clinicians I see, the amount of hard work that they put into getting their degrees, people spend 5 to 10 years to get a doctorate degree. 2 out of 3 of those years minimum is the dissertation. That dissertation becomes your child. That dissertation is your baby. And then you sit there looking at it day after day wondering, I don't even know if I want kids anymore, because that is how horrible it is. I still remember my dissertation, understanding how newlywed American Muslims navigate their first sexual experience and the role of sexual health education. What do we know and where do we go from there? It was a phenomenological qualitative study. Worst thing I ever did. Hated doing my dissertation. 0 out of 10, would not recommend, would never do it again. Where is it now? Book bound on a shelf in my mother's house because I did that shit. If my clients wanted to look up my dissertation, they could find it. Do I regret getting my degree? Absolutely not. I love doing the work that I do. I love being a part of people's journey. Would I do it again? Not if you paid me. But the least I owe my clients is transparency. The least any of us owe our clients is transparency. If people are going to come to you.
Yeah, I agree with that sentiment also.
Who cares if Cheyenne Bryant is lying about getting a PhD? It's just a PhD. Anybody can get a PhD. You're not all of that because you have a PhD. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, I just don't get it because you didn't get that far. That's why you don't get it. Because you didn't get that far. You see, I'm not coming from the standpoint of, oh, I'm so elitist, I'm better than you because I hold multiple degrees. I'm working on my 4th degree, which is a master's of physics, because it is. And I'm also not a therapist, so I won't be able to tell you all the doors that will be able to open for you once you get your PhD. But what I do know is that we already live in a world where people assume that we are not qualified enough to be in the room. They're already assuming that you're just the LGBTQIA plus hire. You're just the Black American hire. You're just the African hire. You're just the Arab Muslim hire. You're just the Jewish hire. You're just the Indian Pakistani hire. You're just the Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Vietnamese hire. You're just the Mexican hire. That's all you will ever be. They needed that person with the personality. Oh, they just needed a pretty woman. Oh, that's it. They just needed their diversity quota to be met. And then on top of that, you ain't got to lie about getting a PhD because, baby, not being ready for a PhD or just not having it yet is totally understandable for those of us that already hold degrees. I totally understand why the average human being does not have a PhD. Because, girl, a PhD of physics? Like, girl, it's okay for you to just kick it with us, the kings and queens of master's degrees. But another big reason as to why it's such a big freaking deal is because a lot of non-degree holders assume that those of us that hold degrees, or you may hold a degree, praise the Lord, hallelujah, salvation, glory, hold my hand, welcome to the congregation, no judgment here. A lot of people assume that those of us that hold degrees come from a privileged background. Baby, them degrees come with sacrifice. Those degrees, baby, they hold sweat. They hold tears. They hold doubt. They hold insecurities. Baby, when I was obtaining my first degree, not only was I in the Army, but I was coming out of the Army, rape victim. Then I found out my mama passed away. Then a couple of weeks after finding out my mama passed away, I found out that I was pregnant. I didn't know what I was going to do. I had a $500 studio apartment. Baby, I drove myself to the hospital and drove my baby and I back home. I still had to get those assignments turned in. When she was 4 weeks old, I had to go back to work. I had to go back to school. So that's why a lot of us, we don't play with our education. It may not be a big deal to you, but when you see my degrees on the freaking wall, baby, you better know they hold my story, because it wasn't a straight line for me. It wasn't a straight line for most of us. Most of us, we went to school every day feeling like the dumbest person in the class. So that's why it may not be a big deal to you, because you don't get it because you never got it. So that's why it's not a big deal to you, because that's a hustle and a grind and a sacrifice that you may never understand. But that's why so many people internalize what Cheyenne Bryant had did and what she has said, because a lot of people work hard for that. So whatever lies you try to do to make yourself sleep better at night, that's between you and the Lord. But don't try to make it look like achieving higher education is something to be diminished, because that it is not. Who cares if Cheyenne...
Yeah, I get that sentiment. But if we talking about people who have doctorates are the ones who are making the most noise, that's a small fraction of people in the world. So small, even the people who even know her that have doctorates, so small. to the people who are her fans. They're so small. If she has 1 million fans, probably 10 of them have doctorates. Maybe more. Maybe she got 100. Maybe she got 100 because she is a doctor. So maybe she got more because she claims to be a doctor. So if there's more, maybe she will have more because she claims to be a doctor. But so she should have more because more smart people might follow her. Not too many dumb people. But so then she might have a little bit of noise. But at the same time, it's not like overwhelming. So everybody who don't have it, that's asking for it, sit back and let the people who do have it do all the talking and make all the noise and help her achieve the paperwork that she so long desires, because if she can't get it, somebody can get it for her. And I believe if it's there, it should be produced to her, not to the world. It's hers. It's not everybody's. So if she needs it, she can have access to it, not everybody else. This is not a everybody thing. This is a her thing. If she doesn't have it, this is a her thing. So that's the main thing, is that she says she doesn't have it. You should have your transcript. I have my transcript. And I do have a bachelor's degree, and I have 2 associate's degrees, which don't even make sense because associate's is easy. And I'm short coming from my master's degree, which I don't even feel like going back to go get it, because for what? It won't even make me no more money. Like, it won't even do me no good. Maybe it will. Maybe it will, because where I work at, it might do me some good, but who cares? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real, go back to school and do all that work for what? Get back in more student debt. More student debt for what? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really want to do that. I don't really want to do that. Like, another $20,000 for what? You know what I'm saying? It just. And guess where I went? I went to the University of Oklahoma after prison, and that's on my transcript. Okay, so if y'all want to see my transcript, I can show y'all. Okay, and it's not lost in the files. It's actually on the transcript. Okay, it's on the transcript. Looking ass. But I'm telling y'all, look, having kids, fresh out of jail, couldn't even get a job. Reason why I went to school because I couldn't get a job. Then when I went to school and they told me I can get a scholarship, I was like, well, I can get scholarships. They started giving me scholarships. And then my school got paid for with Pell Grants. Then they said, well, you can sign up for this scholarship. I said, well, what's that scholarship for? They said, well, you can get this, you get this $1,000. They said, if your school is paid for it, then it'll go to your pocket. And I was like, all right, any more scholarships? They was like, yeah, whole list of scholarships. I'm telling you, I'm busting out scholarships every month, every 3 months, every scholarships. I'm getting about 8,000 in scholarships every semester on top of Pell Grants that's already paying for the school. So I'm getting 8,000 on top of that. So I'm taking care of business. And then I'm able to file taxes. When I'm able to file taxes, I'm able to, because all my books and stuff is paid for. So I'm able to write that stuff off onto my taxes and stuff that's paid for because I'm doing that stuff. And so I'm getting money back for student loans, and I get the American student tax refund. It's like $1,000, so I'm getting $1,000 from that. And I'm like, damn, school is a hustle. So I just kept going to school. So all I did was get good grades. So I got good grades. I was making $8 an hour. I got good grades. I was bringing in about $300 a week, or every 2 weeks or something like that. It was something trash from my job. Maybe $400, $450, $500 every 2 weeks from my job. And not only that, but I was bringing in another $1,000, $2,000 just from grants while I was in school. Then I fuck around and take summer school just to get some extra money. Like, man, shit, I need some money this summer, so let me go ahead and take a summer school class while we out on vacation. I'm over here doing homework. But we took a vacation on that grant. Hey, if y'all don't know, school is a hustle. Well, at least it was for me. But anyway, let me know what y'all think about that in the comment section, man.